Hey everyone, welcome back to another Elden Ring video. I hope that everybody is having an absolutely fantastic day and I hope that you guys are enjoying playing Elden Ring as well. But in today's video, I want to go over a weapon that I feel really complements a mage build or a sorcery build, an intelligent build. And honestly, I feel like this weapon in the right circumstance could really help out pretty much anything. Now, the weapon that I am talking about does scale right off the bat on intelligence, and you can change out the Ash of War, and you can also use a wet blade and add magic to it, which means that the scaling on intelligence is going to be even that much more. Now, you could change it if you are like a bleed, and you could put bleed on it as well, but I'm not going to get into that in today's video. But you do have that flexibility to kind of change out and make this thing your own, so see if it works well for your current playstyle and your current build. So anyway, the weapon that I am talking about is the Clayman's Harpoon. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the base attributes are, so you guys can just go ahead and see what that looks like right off the bat. Like now that I mentioned before, is its attribute scaling is on intelligence, but you also have strength and dexterity. Now you can use this like any spear, which you can keep your shield up and you can stab. So if you like that type of play style, that's really nice. And you can change out the Ash of War to whatever you would really like. So this is what I'm currently using. It does use the smithing stones to get up to that plus 24. Obviously, I'm missing an ancient dragon smithing stone, so I don't have it as a plus 25. And then I did use a wet blade in order to make it a magic possibility. And then I used the glintstone pebble Ash of War to put on there. Now, my only negative thing about this entire build is actually the Ash of War, is the glintstone pebble itself does not travel very far as the Ash of War. Now, if you were to compare this to a sorcery, just regular staff and have the glintstone pebble on it, it's going to go like 3 times as further, or if not more. This glintstone pebble Ash of War, the enemies have to be up close and personal with you, but it does do a lot of damage. It does seem like it does more damage than just the regular glintstone pebble. So if you're not an intelligence build and you want to be able to have a little bit of intelligence and have some sorcery put on one of your weapons, this might be a really good way to go ahead and do that. So obviously we're going to talk about where you can go ahead and get the glintstone pebble. We're going to talk about how you can get the Clayman's Harpoon, where you need to go. Fortunately, it's just not opening a chest. You do have to do some farming in order to obtain this, but you can get it very much early game. Now, the location that we're going to be heading to is, I went there before I had even beat Stormville Castle, so you should be able to go down to this area pretty quickly. Now, I do know that my first playthrough, when I had done that and I obtained these weapons, is this area was very difficult for me at the level that I was at that time. So if you are very much an early player on your first playthrough, it might take a little bit of time for you to go ahead and then do some other things and then come back to this a little bit later. But it's completely up to you. The nice thing about this area as well that we're going to be farming is you can summon your spirit summons in regardless of what you have, and they can go ahead and help you out and assist you with the fight, because there are quite a few of these enemies around. So it is easy to kind of get cornered and to get hit very hard very, very quickly, and you could probably die if you're not paying attention. Now, I don't know if I've ever gotten more than 2 of these items. I only keep 2 of everything. I really don't need 2, armor pieces of anything. And if I've had 3, I can only carry 1 in each hand anyway. So I probably have gotten rid of some, but I honestly don't know how many I've ever obtained. But like I said earlier, you will have to go ahead and do a little bit of farming. So in order for us to get to where we need to go to, you want to make your way to the Third Church of America. Now, if you don't know where this is at, just in case you are brand new to the game, this is your starting location. You're going to head up this road, go north to the Gatefront Ruins, and then go ahead and head east, and then go ahead and head kind of northeast on this road and head up over here. And then you're going to go ahead and go straight south down to the Sophia River Well, which is right next to the Minor Erdtree, which is really nice and handy. Now, it's pretty much a straight shot. The entrance is on the opposite side of the Third Church of America, so just be aware of that. You're going to be coming to this side of it in order to obtain it. I am going to go over there so you guys can see where it's located. It's not that far away from the Third Church of America, but I'm not going to ride down the well just because this lift or elevator or whatever you want to call it, this thing is ridiculously long, probably one of the longest lifts in the entire game. And I don't really want you guys to suffer through that. But anyway, let's go ahead and make our way over to the Sophia River well. All right, so I'm heading south pretty much right from the Third Church of America, and this is the well right here. So we're just going to go to the other side of it, and you're going to see that the entrance is right here. So I don't know when this thing technically opened on my first playthrough, but I know that it opened right away. And then you can just come in here and then go ahead and stand on it. But I'm just going to meet you guys at the bottom. No point in making you guys suffer. So welcome to the Sophia River. And this is the location that you guys need to come to. So the lift is right there, and right in front of us is where we need to go. So when you get down here, especially by the broken, you're going to start to see the spirit summons come in. So you can go ahead and call them if you would like to have an assistant help you out with this. So there you go. And then as soon as you come around this corner, you're going to start seeing all the guys that you need to go ahead and deal with. Now, they are really slow. And it should make it a little bit easier for you guys to go ahead and deal with them. And there you go. So now you just go ahead and take them out. Now, they do have to be fairly close to you in order to see that one to even hit. Before it actually does hit them. And then it does pretty good damage. And then here is my glintstone comet shard, which did less damage. So 533. Let's get up and do this one with a glintstone pebble right there. And so 615, so decently more than what the other one did. All right, buddy. There you go. But you can see it, like, it works really good in combination with the staff that I'm currently using, but my shards go way further. So if you can see, it's like, doesn't seem like it goes very far. But against bigger enemies, it does stun them relatively well. And then all you need to do is basically try to get them to drop things like this. This is probably going to be a Firefly. It mostly is. So you will probably be down here for a while unless your RNG is just really good. Now, speaking of that, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about things that you can go ahead and do in order to increase that. So if we go into our equipment here, and the first thing we can go and find is the silver tier mask. Now, unfortunately, this is going to be a little bit later in the game. You do have to get down to the city of Narcon in order to kind of get into that area. And then you're going to fight the mimic of you, and then you'll obtain that samurai right around there. So that's when you guys can go ahead and get that, but that will increase your discovery by quite a bit, by 8 in my case. Now there are other options that you guys can do, including the white or the silver pickled foulfoot, which is going to be right here. That will increase it by quite a bit for a very temporary amount, so about 3 minutes or so. So that's another way to go ahead and do that. And then the last thing is something that I don't have. So everybody knows about the gold scarab, which obviously you're going to get more runes from defeating somebody. But if you have the gold scarab, unfortunately, that is a very late game. It's not going to be until you get to the Haligtree. And the reason I didn't find it is it's behind a wall that is a false wall. So it's an illusionary wall that you're going to be able to go ahead and then loot it. So I plan on getting it this time because I'm pretty much at that location now, but I just didn't have enough time to go ahead and grab it. So that you can go ahead and do those things in order to increase your discovery. Or the other option that you would have is to go ahead and dump some stats into Arcane. Arcane is going to give you the most, or is the only attribute point that you can actually go ahead and put some stuff into that will increase your discovery. So those are kind of some options in order to do that. Now, if you are wanting to get the glintstone pebble, you can get that from Roiger. You can find him first at Stormville Castle, roughly about halfway through. you're going to drop into a church area and he'll be standing there. And then once you talk to him, you can either buy it there. It does cost 1,500 runes. And if you talk to him, he'll eventually be back at the round table hold. So you can just buy it at any time from him there. Just make sure that you talk to him at Stormville Castle if you want to be able to complete that. Now, if you did kill him, you probably got his bell bearing. So then you can just turn that into the 2 maiden husks and you can get it that way as well. So couple different flexibilities. But I hope that this video did help you guys out. Give it a try. Let me know in the comments what you thought of it. If you liked it, did you not like it? Is there something that you would go ahead and change? Let me know. But until next time, YouTube, you guys keep doing what you're doing because you're already doing it, and you guys stay gaming.